Well, I find myself with a few minutes to spare here, so I have some coffee and I have an empty desk, so I may as well take a little look at this guy. So this is the original AlertMe hub. As I very briefly showed in the smart plug video, this has got a nice little SIM card from a now slightly defunct mobile telephone network in the UK. This one, I think this got referred to as the mini hub. There was a nano hub as well. I'm not entirely sure what the hub would have been if this was the mini hub, because it's a fair old size, but it's great. It packs everything that you could really want into a hub system that is also being used for not just home automation but also home security as well. It has no Wi-Fi. This is just a plug-in job, so Ethernet cable goes in there. I think there's a 5-volt 1 amp adapter goes in there, so everything on is just from that 5 volts more or less. This version of this hub had this little orange insert, and that showed you that this was the version that had the SIM functionality in it. They made a cheaper version where you paid a much lower subscription fee for having one that just ran off your network and didn't have any clever GPRS stuff in it. So yeah, we may as well have a little peek inside it. If I remember rightly, I went and had a look inside this thing quite some time ago, and I think I'm going to need some tools for this. And it's quite a nice sort of setup. Wrench this little guy out. Got these little toothed pegs. Now then, if I am sensible about it, I can probably figure out. Oops. There we go. Lovely. So hiding down there somewhere, yep, there are some Phillips head screwdrivers, and I'm getting the feeling that none of the bits on this are actually going to reach down there. I don't think so. I will, yes, I shall come back to this in just a second. Right, that's better. Be good. Take the little SIM card out. Oh, no, that's not the right type of screwdriver either. Slightly larger one, please. There we go. This is probably too large. Oh no, we're good. We're good. As this comes apart, yeah, I vaguely remember there are test ports and all this kind of thing, and the hub does run Linux, so I think it's a JFFS file system and all the usual kind of bits and bobs that you would do for a little embedded system. Really, there we go, 4 screws. Let's see what we have inside. Ta-da! So, have a look at this bit first, the boring bit. Yeah, it has a little tab bit, sort of hot steak melted on there, which gives you the little orange bit, and that's pretty much it. Nothing else in there. Right, now this, I really rather like the design of this. So you can see you've got, this is an antenna board down the side here. It's down there. Obviously you've got battery pack in the centre. This will be completely dead, and I should probably just throw it out. Sorry, recycle it. At work, luckily we have a nice recycling facility. Right, there we go. The bottom separates off like that. And now, interesting. Okay, we can see the speaker in there. It's the only thing that's hooked up. And the speaker is socketed. So we can probably have a better look at that. I guess I just have to get this socket off here. It's a little bit inconvenient, but there we go. Yes, I have been in here before, because like you can see my cable ties where I snipped them. I think that was because the batteries were dying in this at the point that I was still using it. Now, and I was looking to swap this thing out. Here we go. So this is the SIM board. Let's see how far I can get this towards you before it blurs out. Probably about there. Probably not even that. So it's this SIM 300Z. It's S2-1019H-A0030, and it's got a serial number and IMEI on it, which is kind of cool. There's the reset. No, that was the reset for the whole system. So that's interesting. I wonder what they had in the hub without the SIM to give you a reset. Was it just a very, very empty board that had nothing on it except for the reset button? And there we go. And I think these got RPSMA, little tiny antenna connectors, which are super delicate. That thing is stuck on the side, so I'm not going to pull that off. But that's the antenna for the SIM. So it is an ISIS 900, 1800, 1900. So that'll be the frequencies for the mobile network that it supports. Need to turn my notifications down there. Please excuse me. Right, okay. Lovely. Well, I can just pop that board back in. There's not a lot more to see on that. 2007 is the date. Yeah, it's alertme.com hub GPRS revision 1-2 2007. Nice. I just love the way that this thing's that slides apart. There's these little carriers for things to slot into. There we go. So this guy, take its battery off there. Pull the battery out. Have a look at that. Okay, so here we go. This is again 3.6 volts, just like the offer in the smart plugs, except for these are much larger, not AAA size, but these are 4/3 A. I should admit I'm not massively up on my nickel metal hydride battery sizes. They're a bit like I haven't got one lying around right now. Almost like an 18650 sort of size. $650. Well, 15650. Interesting. Okay. I'm sure, yeah, people are much more aware of what size they are, but decent capacity on that. 4000 milliamp hour. Nickel metal hydride 1.2s. So there's that. Oh, coffee. Over there. Right, so we'll look at the main event, which is this guy. And here you can see this is where the little speaker attaches. I'll put that lot to the side for now. And there we go. We have got an ARM processor, EP9302-CQZ. Let's see how. So yeah, that's something like that. There you go. Nice big print on that. Nice big chip actually as well. Big IC there. What else do I recognise on here? I'm not an electronics guy, so I only know my way around a small amount of stuff. I can see up here we've got this EM260. This was this is your Zigbee chip. This is what's doing all of the hard work with the wireless network. And this is your tiny little chip antenna on here. And there's a few crystals and whatnot for timing. We have a little SMSC chip that will be doing the work for the Ethernet PHY on there. Basically providing all of your network. So anything that was happening over the internet or through your home network was going through this. There is no other wireless on this at all, other than the 2.4 gig Zigbee network. Now, if we flip it over, we'll have a look and find some memory and storage and things. I think so. There's the Hynix. I would assume that is probably the memory. So this is a Hynix. It says 852A, and it's a Hotel Yankee 57 Victor 561620 Foxtrot Tango Papa Dash Hotel, made in Korea, I think. This is board revision 1.3. So let's see. Yeah, there we go. Hub CPU, copyright 2008. So this is actually a slightly later revision to the to this SIM module. Obviously, they had to make more changes to this over time. But then again, this is pretty much an off-the-shelf component with its SIM module on it. Then the memory, which you've probably already had a look at, is a Samsung. This is a Samsung 943, and it says Kilo 9 Foxtrot 1208 Uniform Oscar Charlie. Don't know what that button does. Now if I have a look, there we go, there's the, pretty sure this will be the J tag. This will be the, oh hang on, no, I'm daft. Here's the debug. So I am pretty sure I have another one of these somewhere, which I have soldered headers to on this debug, and you can use that over a serial interface to hook up to this and have a look at it and get on the command line and do all that kind of thing. One of the things I'd really like to do with it is actually get the audio off this, because it had recordings on it of some voice actor they'd obviously hired to do announcements. So the system used to say, AlertMe will be set to away from home, I think was one of them. A few other announcements, when the alarm goes off, or if it lost connection if it lost a power connection and it was then running off battery. I think there was supposed to be a message that came on for that. Now that worked on the I never remember it working on this. I remember the lights used to change. So hang on a minute, let's find, there we go. Look, now you can see on here there's a light guide for there. Yes. That goes that way round. Somewhere on here, there we go. That one and that one, they are two LEDs which you are not going to be able to see easily. Yes, you definitely can't see that easily. Still trying to get used to exactly where I can get this thing to before the camera loses focus, but yeah. There's your little LED there, and two just on the back of the just on the back of there. Chick. There we go. that one there and that one there, and they give you your red and your white indications. So yeah, it used to drop to dim white, I think it was, if it was running off battery power. There was a bug in it. Yes, he's expired. Let's just let's give him the burial he's been waiting for. There we go. Yeah. So completely lost my train of thought now with that little guy. Oh yeah, sorry. The audio that's on this shouldn't be too horrendous to get into this and pull that audio off, because it would be really nice to use it with a new system, just because it was funny enough, we had this for a good 10 years, I think, in our house in use. It was great. I mean, it was flaky in the early years and got much better towards the time that it was discontinued, as these things go. But yeah, obviously it was a voice and a recognisable sound that we'd had in the house for a long time, and of course, since they turned the service off, gone. And I'm a sound guy at heart, so you know, these things that sort of come and go and disappear, I'm quite interested in getting hold of again. So it would be nice to get that audio off here somehow. I shall look into that when I next get time. So there we go. That's what you could find inside your old AlertMe hub. Let's have a look at this. Look at the dust in that. Stuff gets this kind of weird fine dust that just sticks to the plastic. But yeah, nice, decent sized little speaker. It wasn't too tinny. It was a reasonable sound and a reasonable volume, because obviously the thing was announcing, if you triggered it, it would announce that somebody had managed to get into your property or managed to trigger the alarm anyway. And yeah, it was a reasonable volume. It's got a nice rubber surround on that as well, so it wasn't vibrating and rattly. It was really quite good. Yeah, and I think, as I said in the other video, this is obviously pre-programmed with this code, which is shown on the outside of the box as well. And this was what you needed to put into the I think it was support.alertme.com or setup.alertme.com. All dead now, of course. I think it just redirects you to British Gas. It's very similar to the setup for Hive these days. You'd stick pretty much the same sort of format of code into Hive when you're registering your Hive hub and getting your online thermostat working. Yeah, what's that little guy there? What is that guy? It is a Whiskey Mike 8510 Golf. And look at that. That's very interesting. Speaker. Mic. I never knew that this had a microphone on board. Very interesting. I wonder if it ever recorded anything. It wasn't a feature that was on the that was ever publicised, but that's yeah. Let's see if I can hold that up there. That is definitely a little microphone module. There we go. Let's see, turn that around a bit so I can catch the light a bit. Look at that. I'd be really interested to actually, I think it's Smart of the Home. Yeah, if you go to smartofthehome.co.uk or .com, don't quote me on exactly the address, just have a duck go of it. See if you can find that site, and they've got a teardown of the current hub that is used for Hive, and it'd be really interesting to see if they've put a microphone on theirs as well, because I've got one and I've never been aware that it had one, so that is really interesting. Just goes to show that, you know, you buy these things, you put them in your house, and unless you get the screwdriver out and start having to dig around, you don't really know what's in there. Super interesting. Yeah. Okay, well, hope you found that interesting. I shall go and have a poke around at some more AlertMe bits and pieces, and I've got a whole variety of technology which I bother occasionally, so now that I've got a camera and got the ability to do this, I I might see if I've got some time now and again to have another play. I shall go and see what that message is.